What's up, guys? I am back from Thailand. Yeah, I'm dealing with a little bit of jet lag. It was like a 30-something hour trip. I got in last night, got home at about 1:30, but for me it was daytime compared to the schedule I'm on. But I watched the race today and I'm here, no complaints. And I'm gonna do a full Thailand video. Thanks to Mark Savage for flying me and my buddy Jameson over there. What a cool thing to do. And a lot of you guys were giving me crap saying, oh, this is a joke, you're gonna get stranded. Couldn't be further from the truth. Mark didn't get his record done. But hey, that wasn't to say my trip wasn't successful. It was awesome, and they couldn't have been better hosts. Special thanks to all you members, especially Drift Missile. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I did get a good laugh of you telling Davey Coombs that he needed to join as a membership. I'm sorry you got blocked, but hey, if you want to piss off Davey Coombs, join as a member. But I really appreciate it, and it helps me keep my channel going and growing the things and keep telling the truths that I see in this sport. So stick it to DC and become a member. Hayden Degan, I'll tell you what, don't piss this guy off. You piss this guy off, that's like fuel for this kid. I'll get into all that and all about the 250s in this video, so let's get into it.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So over the past 2 weeks, Degan has taken some serious heat, which seems strange for a guy that just won the outdoor championship. But it has nothing to do with his on-track performances. It has to do with him not accepting the ride in the Des Nations. He was the first pick for the team to ride as the 250 rider. You know, at first, I heard a lot of different things. I didn't know about the wrist surgery. I didn't know it had 2 screws in it. If true, which I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to injuries in the Degan family, they've lied to us before. I don't know if it's completely true, but I think it might be. I think he might have 2 screws, and that's a bold decision by the Degan family to do that. That's a small bone, that scaphoid, or the navicular as it's called, but I believe the navicular is in your foot, and the doctors refer to the one in your wrist as your scaphoid. I have broken that. On my wrist, they did a screw. Everyone else I've known, I reached out to some doctors to find out about this 2 screw deal because it really blew my mind. I'm like, wait, what? In that small of a bone, it's somewhat experimental. I wouldn't say it's experimental, but it is rare that somebody goes with 2 screws. They went ahead and made the decision to put 2 screws in his wrist so he could race, so it would be supported. The risk is when you put a screw in there and you're waiting for it to heal, if you re-break it, that screw bends and it causes all sorts of complications. But if you put 2 screws in there, the chances of it bending are far less. It's basically as strong as a regular scaphoid, but it's not healed. It still hurts really bad, and it doesn't heal as clean. So he's gonna have to go in there and get that removed. So I don't think that's a lie. With that said, had they chose Eli Tomac for the Des Nations, I think you would have saw Hayden push that surgery back just a little bit and go race for his country. But like I said, I don't ever want to bash these guys. And for Chase Sexton to come out and say what he said about not riding for your country, come on, man, are you serious? While I appreciate his patriotism, and while he's probably mad because he has less chance to win that race, those words from Chase Sexton will 100% come back to bite him in the ass in the later years when he doesn't want to go every single year and he's worn out and they ask him to go and he says no. Everyone's going to point back to that time he made fun of Degan and said, hey, it's an honor to ride for your country. You should go when asked. Well, they're going to ask you a lot, Chase, so get used to that. And I'll tell you what, after today's performance by both Degan and Eli Tomac, dang, that would have been a strong team if we could have got both those guys on there. But I still think Aaron Plessinger earned the right to go. You had to have that decision made ahead of time. They did what they had to do, and it was a class act, Eli, to step out from that pick. But right now, it doesn't look so good. There was a lot of hype coming into this event with, the talking heads and all these different people saying, oh yeah, Degan talks his trash, but he's gonna run into somebody. We think RJ Hampshire's, that's somebody who's gonna humble him, and that's a guy you're not gonna be able to push around and bully. Yeah, I don't think so. The way Degan stuck it in there on RJ, slammed him, you know damn well that was because RJ's the guy that kind of stood up in the press conference and kind of said like, hey, I'm not going to back down. I got this. And everybody, we were all saying, oh, that's the guy. And I didn't really say that. But the thing about RJ is he is a guy that will fight you every single week. The problem is he just isn't, let's be honest, he's just not as good as Hayden Degan. But the thing about RJ, he's like that fighter that just gets knocked down, gets back up. It doesn't matter how many times you knock this dude out. He's still coming full bore at you every single time. You're never going to convince him that he's not going to beat you or that you're not going to intimidate him But he will make mistakes like that. That was definitely 100% because of Hayden Degan. But RJ has a short memory when it comes to that stuff, and he will fight every bit as hard every single week. Levi Kitchen, on the other hand, looked flat in that first moto, and when Hayden went around him on the outside, it was almost like a transfer of energy. It just took the wind out of his sails. He's like, I can't go that fast. And it really did kind of flatten him out for that moto. He blamed it on the restart, but I don't buy it. I think it was when Hayden went around him on the outside and just like a boss, it was like, what are you going to do now? And then in the second moto, when Degan had the win wrapped up, he had no need to go run down Levi Kitchen. He did it anyway. Levi Kitchen folded like a noodle in boiling water. It was bad. I mean, as soon as he got to him, he just runs off the track, makes a totally uncharacteristic mistake. I don't think he could believe how fast Hayden got to him. This track really gave you an idea of the talent that Hayden Degan has. He had, like, this is a track that's not cookie cutter. They don't get to dissect these all the time. They get there, they show up, there's weird obstacles. There's that bank that wasn't even part of the track that he started incorporating in. These are the types of things that you can't account for. And I think James Stewart said it best when he said, Hayden Degan rides like a guy who comes from nothing. And that's exactly, I mean, I couldn't have said it better. That was perfect. James Stewart's great in the booth, and he even sounds better when he's next to Ricky Carmichael. And I'm not going to trash Ricky this whole video, but let's just say this. Words are not his strong point. You guys are going to come back and say, oh, well, they're not yours either. Well, guess what? I'm not the voice of the sport. I'm just a guy on YouTube. I don't think Ricky should be the announcer. He's the greatest of all time, shouldn't be the announcer. But Hayden Degan showing that creativity, that's stuff we were talking about from Jet a year, 2 years ago. He does it a different way than Jet. Make no bones about it. It's creativity, especially on those flat turns, the way Hayden's constantly crossing over the ruts and avoiding the bumps, and then he's banking off walls and he's jumping jumps that nobody else will jump. That is talent. Even though he might not look as smooth or effortless as Jet, he is getting it done. And I have no doubt whenever he decides to go to a 450, if it be next week or next year or 2 years, Hayden Degan is ready to battle those guys. And I think with Sexton mouthing off about the designations, I really think that's going to light an extra fire under Degan to get there a little bit quicker. Don't be surprised if you see Hayden Degan on a 450 next year outdoors. That is 100% speculation on my point, but that's something wild enough that I think the Degans would do it if he just dominates Supercross and he's already got an outdoor title and he just wants to go 450. I would like to see him defend it. But if I say that this kid needs a challenge. He's proven that when he doesn't have a challenge, he just doesn't do as good. He needs to be pissed off. And I think going to that 450 next year might be the incentive he needs to do something amazing. Check out Complete Racing Solutions. Coach Rob is accepting resumes for his team. He started on the 2nd and he's going to around the 20th. Get your resumes in. And he's doing 20 motocross riders and 20 off-road riders. If you want a program that will give you the strong body that you need to get the best out of your talent, hit up Coach Rob. Check out Epic Garage Designs. Travis Ogburn has started this company and he's running this company, and it's a passion project. He loves building cool stuff for the garage. So check out Epic Garage Designs and get yourself some slat wall, some flooring, some cabinets, whatever you need to look factory. How about Julian Beaumer coming out there, the kid from Lake Havasu? And while I said he'd be a better pro than Hayden Degan, boy, did I eat my words on that. I still stand by the fact that Julian Beaumer is going to be a strong pro. And I think from here on out, he is going to be a podium threat. And next year, if he's not on the same coast as Hayden Degan, I look for him to win some races. Poor Levi Kitchen. It has been ever since his teammate hit him at the Supercross and took him out of the point lead and essentially cost him the championship. He's had a few moments. He had that little run outdoors, but he just hasn't had anything for Hayden Degan. And he's been verbally assaulted. He's been smashed on the track. I mean, the way Degan came up on him, he washed him away like a big wave hitting a sandcastle. I mean, once he got there, it was done. He was riding for second place. I hear people saying that guys aren't scared of Hayden Degan. And I wouldn't say scared is the right word. They are intimidated. They also know their place. They know, okay, it's Hayden Degan. He's coming hard, and I don't have enough to keep him behind. So they don't fight him as hard as they would a guy that they think they can beat. He's mentally got that edge on them. But while they're not scared of him per se, they're kind of intimidated just a little bit. He's got that mental edge on them, and that's how he keeps it. And he just keeps talking, and it's like he's one of those guys, and he's a gift to the sport. MX Sports and Feld are very, very scared of him because he is getting so much popularity. He is bigger than the sport. And he's a guy that I hope he uses his power the right way throughout his career, and he can get stuff for all the other riders. instead of just all for him, because he's going to make a truckload of money no matter what he does. But I hope, in addition to that, I hope he uses his power wisely to get some of the things for riders and safety that we desperately need on this track. Like, say, I don't know, a little bit more runoff dirt on the start straight where Jalek Swoll went down. That was completely unnecessary. If they had just added 2 feet more of dirt on each side, I'm not saying make the track any wider. I'm saying add 2 feet of dirt outside of it. Leave the tough blocks where they are. A guy could go off, and then if he goes off and goes around the tough block, you penalize him. At least he doesn't have a catastrophic crash and be lying there on the track unconscious. I hate seeing that. And then for God's sake, can we please stop putting tough blocks in rhythm sections? Back in the day, they decided we don't want to put tough blocks on the landings because the guys jump too far on triples. Well, nowadays, the rhythm sections, they're going farther than the triples, yet they're still lining them with sponsors. Just put the little Acerbis track barriers there and put a banner down below. I'm not saying get rid of your advertising. Build a little ledge, put the tough blocks off the track. It took out Barcia, completely unnecessary. The sport's dangerous enough as it is. Anderson, that was a racing incident. That thing happens. The sport, you're never going to make it safe. This is not a safe sport, but we can get rid of the stupid. Both Jalek and Justin Barcia should not have been hurt. And had they figured a little bit of safety in there, both those guys would have raced. Joe Shimoda, Smoking Joe. Man, he came back from the injury, collarbone injury, which it's pretty regular when they played him. I'm glad to see he waited the full 4 weeks and didn't risk going out there. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. He went out there, he rode solid, and put in a good result. But hey, it's the end of the year. That's what Joe does. Towards the end of the year, Joe Shimoda looks good. Check out Ride Strap. Some of the coolest goggles, shirts. Get your Red Pill shirt. Get your Industry Outsider shirt. Chris is a bad dude, and I appreciate the support he gives me. So head over to ridestrap.com. Get your goggles, get your shirt, get your sunglasses. And if you guys are shipping anything, use Precision Transport. They have the best prices, customer service, and they're just good people, and they support motocross. So check out pretransport.com. That's Precision Transport if you're shipping anything in the United States. So RJ Hampshire came into this race, positioned him, from all the talking, like he was going to be the guy. Went out there, fast qualifier. I mean, it really looked like he was going to go out there and put it to Hayden Deegan. But all he did was just I kind of already talked about it. He just got the wood handed to him. But RJ will come back. Make no doubt about it. RJ will not quit. Don't be surprised in the single, double, triple points. RJ is far from out of it. This is a guy that could go on a roll in these next 2 races and easily win this championship. Don't count out RJ Hampshire. And that's why I like the single, double, and triple points. Just because he had a bad day today doesn't mean that much. And I'm sure glad he's all right. Man, he hit that concrete barrier. That could have been horrific. And, I was at that race last year. I remember looking at that concrete and going, geez, that just seems like they should have a pad or something over it. Safety. Can we please get just a little bit of it? And I'm doing a video later this week about the money in Super Duper versus outdoor regular motocross. And it's catastrophic. But the thing I want to point out is had they put tough blocks off the side of the track or covered the concrete and some of the things that they've done, I'll bet you the salaries that Justin Barcia and Jalek Swoll are missing out on could pay for all those safety features. Yet Feld and MX Sports are too busy raking in that dough. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know the details on their TV contract, but I've seen some numbers in comparison to NASCAR and what the ratings are. This TV contract they have is big. Very big. And I apologize for not getting the gambling show up last week. In Thailand, you're not allowed to gamble. I couldn't even pull it up to look at it. So if I do move there, I'm going to have to use a VPN, but I will still do the gambling shows. I won't gamble myself because I don't want to go to jail over there. But I will tell you guys what I would pick. And it's the start of the NFL season. If you bet on NFL, please use the link in the description. That's how they hook me up. Set up that account and bet on your favorite football team. So I'm going to make up to you guys. I was gone 2 weeks. I wanted to do more videos. I was in Thailand. I was really having a good time checking it out. And it was hard to do videos there because we're entertaining and doing different stuff. I got a couple of videos out, not as many as I'd hoped, but I will make it up to you guys this week. I'm going to try and get a video out every single day. So this is today's video on 250s, tomorrow 450s. I got a Thailand recap, still working on the AMA video. I got tons of stuff for you guys. It's been stocking up and you'll get a lot of it this week. So thank you guys for everything. I appreciate it.